and somebody say, "Where's Harry? Where's Geordie?" And somebody say, "Oh, you know when I was coming on the beach, so they fell down and they never got up." And that's when it went up here. It's going to be a bit dangerous, like.
Now then, and welcome to the hardest routine. In this episode, we were talking to Ken Cooke, D-Day veteran, veteran of the 7th Battalion Green Howards. We met Ken following the VE Hard Routine charity tour in May. We landed in Crépon on May 7th in France, and we were told by Didier, the owner of Le Green Howards bar, go check it out, it's unbelievable, that a D-Day veteran was coming to visit the very next day. So we actually ended up extending our trip another day just so we could meet Ken. He didn't disappoint. He was a celebrity. Everyone was trying to buy him drinks. Everyone wanted pictures with him. And due to what we'd just done, we got introduced, and I asked him, would you give us 10-15 minutes of your time just to talk about D-Day? We'd be very grateful. And he was all over it. He loved it. He absolutely loved it. It was very ad hoc. It wasn't really an interview. We just stuck a camera on and just let him go, and he was off. Obviously, we spoke with Ken in a pub, so it was quite a noisy environment. I've done my best to offset that noise. I've edited it as best I could. However, it's still you can still tell, but it is what it is. His story's there. His story's recorded. That's the main thing. We hope you enjoy it, and please keep supporting to help us remember and record stories that will one day be our history. Thanks. Would you be able to tell us very quickly who you are and what you're doing here today in Crépon?
Yeah. My name's Kenneth Cooke. I'm in the Green Howards Regiment, the 7th Battalion, and we did our basic training at Richmond in Yorkshire. And after the basic training, we were sent to different regiments, which, according to your skills, what you were doing in your training, it was a laughable situation when we did our basic training, because we went in a room and there's a few tables with some objects, such as a round hole and a square box, and all different things. You had to put them together, or tell the instructor what they were. Now, in front of me was a tune, like a stopper. What else was it? It's all about 3 or 4 pieces just laid out. I hadn't a clue what it was. It turned out it was a bicycle pump. I went to Aldershot and did some more training there, just obstacle courses and different things like that. Then we went down to an American camp just outside Southampton, and we had all our gear on, the equipment. And the sergeant said, "Right, lads, down this field there's some tents. Go and put your gear in there. And after you've done that, go further down the field. And you'll see an officer stood behind some tables." So we went down there, and he was in about 2 trestle tables,
Well, we came the first time.
And there was all photographs on the table. They were all photographs of the French coast. I don't know if you remember, the government asked people who'd been on holiday in France to send any photograph they'd taken to the government to give them,
Like intelligence.
the idea what was on that coat,
Yeah.
building or what have you. And then it gave us some, what they call it, invasion money. It was no good at all, that, you know. And then we came out of the American camp. We were taken down to Southampton Harbour, Portsmouth Harbour. You could walk across Portsmouth Harbour and Southampton Harbour without getting your feet wet. There was that many ships and boats, whatever. You know. And we were allocated an American Liberty ship, what they call a Liberty ship.
Yeah.
Instead of being riveted, they're welded together. And I think we were either 4 or 5 Liberty ships. We were on the Rapier. The 6th Battalion was on the Lads. Some more troops were on another one called the Halberg. These are ancient weapons, you know. It was the name of these ships. So we climbed aboard, went down below where our bunks were, down below, settled in, playing cards, having a smoke, having a chat. This was on the 4th. And we were called up on deck. And the officer explained different things. And the Dakota flew over, you know, with the black and white stripes. And the officer explained that if you see those planes with those stripes on them, they're ours. If there's no stripes on, they're there. That was his explanation. Anyway, we went down again and got settled in. This was their 5th. And then we've been chatting, reading books, whatever. Time to get your head down. We tried to sleep, but we couldn't, you know, on and off. And somebody says, we're moving. And you could feel the ship moving, like, you know. Sets off. And 3:30 in the morning, Reveille, went into the mess. And breakfast was Scotch porridge with salt, not sugar.
Oh,
it
nice.
was really awful. No.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
That was your Scotch.
A corned beef sandwich, a mug of tea, strong tea, you could stand your spoon open it, you know. And a touch of rub to give us a bit of courage.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, went down below again. Officer sergeant said, right, lads, get all the equipment together, get dressed properly, you know, all the gear. Come over on the top deck. Then we'll on the top deck. And we looked to the coast, you could see all the battleships firing rockets and all the rest of it going on, you know. Yeah, you had to be there to see it, you know.
Was that the bombardment prior to the troops?
You can't explain it properly.
Yeah.
Because it was that, you know, surreal kind of thing.
Just, yeah. I don't think it's something you can understand either.
Oh, no, you know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, to me, as an 18-year-old, it was a Boy Scouts adventure.
Yeah.
Type of thing, you know. Never seen anything like this. No, I've never seen a ship. I've never been on a beach before. And I've got lots of them were the same as me, you know.
Young lads.
And anyway, I think it was 3:30, 4 o'clock. Officer said, right, lads, over the side, held the scramble net. No, the only time we'd seen a scramble net was at Aldershot when we went down one of these football. Now we one rigged up on the assault course.
Yeah.
So we went over them, you know, did the assault. Next time we saw us coming, that was when we were go. And they said, the officer said, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, over the side. And you climb down the scramble net. No, your parachute will Like that.
Yeah.
Your assault craft was like that. So you're going down the Campbell Neck, and the sailors now go careful, lads. Make sure you got your foothold as you go down. And our craft, I think we all got down safely, but there was one. They put his foot through the hole and he overbalanced. We caught him and put him back. But there was reports of other ships going down the scramble nets, put the foot in the wrong hole, overbalanced and into the water. Now with all of the gear on, ocean. There were some cases of some of the lads, missed a step, overbalanced into the water, and the two craft, that one going like that, and they kept bumping into each other. They got crushed.
How many injuries or deaths happened because of that, do you reckon? Was there quite a few of them?
I don't know how many there was, but the weird stories of a few, But we set off for the coast.
Yeah.
Now, this is amusing, is some lads were sat on the deck, others were half kneeling, some were standing, and there's me leaning over the side of the looking all the fireworks. Look at this look. I can't explain it how it was, That's what I did.
Yeah.
No.
Absolutely bemused.
Yeah. Anyway, we made our way to the beach. Now, somebody said there's a very strong current on that coast, and over the year, the sand underneath had built up, into mounds like that. And some of the landing craft hit those mounds, dropped the ramp because they thought they hit the beach. Now then, once again, the lads with all the gear on stepped off into about 10 foot of water. Yeah. And there was I heard one story that they stepped off into about 10 foot of water. The next wave moved the assault craft like that and ran over the top of the lads up and jumped the water. Yeah.
It's unbelievable, that.
Yeah. I don't like it. Anyway, our driver was quite good because I got within about 3 foot of the beach and I jumped out and I got about 6 inches of water. Now, somebody said, what did it feel like when you landed? I said, well, my only explanation is that just imagine it's been raining. You walk on the street, there's a big puddle. Accidentally, you put your foot in it. Well, what do you say to yourself? Oh, look at my socks, all pretty wet through. And that's a feeling I had.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I was upset about that. What about the lads that were carrying the rifle as the water was up to here? What did they feel like?
Yeah.
So you essentially got off and were like, fucking have fun in the puddle.
Yeah, just let me know. And we had to get off the beach as quick as possible. And the sergeant and corporal were driving us on, like, come on, get off the beach. I just stuck waiting to come behind us. And we got out into the countryside. And it was getting dark, and so we stopped. And instead of digging trenches, we into Jerry's trenches, which, not like us, was like that. Like a plug of earth had been took out. And that was like a 4 foot hole. So there were two of us got into there put our ground sheets down, and then we had to stand to for an hour.
Yeah.
Then the service car came up with the lorries with the evening supper and whatever, you know. So we settled down for that. We tried to sleep, we were a waste of time because there was a project going up. Planes going over. Oh, it was not just a bit of sleep. And the next morning, about 6 o'clock, the valley, we had to stand to again for an hour.
Yeah.
Then the lorries came up with our food, and we sat down.
Yeah,
It must have been for them, them people that were carrying the rifle. I mean, they wet through, and they still went,
yeah.
you know. And we went out into the countryside. And the
So what was the first? Was the first village you pushed to then? From because you, I presume you landed at Gold Beach.
London at Gold Beach, yeah.
So what was the first village you pushed to?
It was Cruelly.
Cruella.
6th Battalion went straight through.
Yeah.
We cleared it out.
Yeah.
We came straight through here, and they cleared it out. 6th Battalion.
Oh,
We you know, edge up kind of thing.
Yeah.
fire maneuver essentially.
Yeah,
You're sort of leapfrogging each other.
Leapfrogging.
Yeah.
We did that. And let's see. We got to far as I'll call them bells, I think. And we found out we've gone too far because the Navy spotters had seen some movement in the area where we were. So they logged a couple of shells over.
They didn't expect to see movement there.
Didn't do any harm, right? So we had to pull back. And then we advanced after that. And we, let's see, went to just outside a place called Tilly.
Oh, yeah.
Tilly. That place was absolutely flat.
Is it?
You know, with bombardments and that. And we was in a little place called Hotpot. H-O-T-T-O-T. I think that's how they spell it. And we'd been walking for about 2 hours. And the sergeant said, right, lads, we'll have a rest. So we either sat down or knelt down, you know. And we never heard anything. And all of a sudden there was this explosion. I heard some shouting and screaming. I found myself flat on the floor in the stomach. We hadn't been mortar shelled. And I got a load in the back of my leg. And I passed out. And I opened my eyes and 2 lads picked me up and took me to the first station. Where I passed out again. I opened my eyes again and I saw a circle of lights, which I presume was the operating theatre. Passed out again. And I woke up in the field hospital. 79 field hospital. Laid on my stomach, tubes in my arms, and this nurse sticking needles in my backside. She was coming round every half hour. You know,
Just stabbing you up.
I was, tears were coming down here with needle going in.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm laid on my stomach. We're in a big marquee. There's doctors and nurses running about, stretcher bearers, and all that. Under the end of the marquee, there was two big flaps, and they had them open, so you could look out into the field. I spotted two Germans walking across.
Cheeky buggers.
No.
They're not supposed to be there.
I said to the nurse, where's my rifle? She said, what do you want your rifle for? I said, it's German. She said, oh, you're okay. She said, they're two German medical staff who we captured and they're helping us.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So, passed out again. I woke up on the stretcher being put on the ship on the beach. Back to England. I was out. I never remembered the crossing. And then I was in hospital down south for about 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Then I put on a train which took me up to Scotland.
All right.
To a hospital in Scotland. Shrapnel, we call it, just outside Brecon.
Yeah.
And as we were put into our wards, they weren't wards a hospital, as you know now.
Quite tall.
It was just single, like this much. And they put it in bed. And down at the end of the ward, there were some children playing. So we thought part of it was part of the children's hospital. Anyway, the following day, we were chatting to the children, and the doctor comes round, and he says to me, right, you're going back in the theatre. So,
as in theatre of war, not theatre for operation.
For
your back.
Theatre for the operation.
Yeah.
Back to the theatre, stuck a needle in my arm, passed out. I woke up in bed with a plaster cast from there to there, and the plaster cast on my arm because I bit it in the shoulder. Little prop underneath there, all the arm in position.
Yeah.
I had that on for about just over a week. Then they cut it off. Then I started doing exercises to get well again. Squeezing tennis balls and all that.
Yeah, rehabilitation. Rehabilitation.
Yeah. And I was transferred to a big house about 3 miles from the hospital, which was another rehabilitation place. Did some more exercising wherever. Then I had a fortnight's leave, came home, and I was treated in York Hospital.
Oh, beautiful, yeah.
While I was on leave. Went back, finished the exercising that, and they say, well, you're all right now. I got a letter to go to Leeds, and Leeds, whoever it was, sent me down south to an aerodrome down south. They put me on the plane over to Brussels, to a little place called Cooke, where I joined up with the Highland Light Infantry. Now, I said, why can't I go back to my own regiment? Well, they said, your own regiment got hammered at Nijmegen. And they had a bad do there, they lost a lot of men. So the rest of them were split up and went to other regiments that were short of men. And that's why I was the south. With the Scottish regiment.
Yeah.
And with them, we went to Northern, wasn't it? We joined up with the Canadians on the Rhine. And we settled in there for about 3 or 4 days. And then one morning, we're just talking, And this barrage started. Yeah, I think it was 5.5, was it? Flying over the river. A hell of a bloody noise was that. And then after the barrage, we got into these canoe-type boats, went across the Rhine, and we advanced from there, and we went through Ertigun Forest.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, he's not bothering you, is he?
Oh, no.
The Siegfried line through there. One or two little battles on the way. We ended up just outside Bremen. Now, they had some positions.
Is that yours, Dan?
That's mine, yeah.
Okay, don't want it goes away.
Look, a look that one, eh?
Anyway, where was I?
Bremen.
Bremen.
Sorry, Dan. Bremen.
And we're in our positions.
Cheers, have a great trip back.
I will. Thank you very much. And they were stood talking, about half a dozen of us, and somebody shouted, there's a couple of Germans coming down this road. So we waited for them to come round the corner. Put your hands up. One put his hand up, other one took off down the field.
Just off, zigzagging.
There's 5 of us shooting at him and never blew it.
So, just for context, Ken, can you remember roughly what date this was?
Like date.
Not
When he was in Bremen?
Yeah. Like roughly.
It was discharged.
February, March.
Yeah.
From there.
Yeah, February,
February.
March. That was on rot. Anyway, the other fella was an American German. He'd been on his holidays in Germany to see his relatives. And unfortunately, he said to him, come on, you're in the army.
And then conscripted him in.
Then the following day, we were attacked with Panzerfaust machine guns. And so that cheeky monkey who ran away must have told his mates we were up at this end. And they attacked us the following day. Well, the chap I was with, he said, I think I've been shot, hit, in my leg. And he says, right. I says, and I helped him back to the first aid station. And there was one of our troops were there, waiting to come up to our position. And the officer there, he said, what's been going on up there where you are? I told him, Next thing I know, I'm on a Brendan carrier with a ticket on my chest, psychoneurosis. Otherwise, PTSD, shell shock, all
Yeah.
And went back to Brussels Hospital. Then they put me on a plane back to England, hospital down south for about a fortnight. Then the doctor came around, making his round. Said, right, I'm going to examine you, chaps. Ready for doing mob. So I went in his office, stripped off. He says, where did you get the wound? I said, last July in Normandy. He said, you should never have gone back. I said, no, we told me,
Oh, thanks for telling me.
Anyway, he said, do you fancy riding a motorcycle? So I said, why? He said, well, short-term dispatch rider. I said, you must be joking. He said, I am joking. There you are, get away up. That was it.